All right, it's day 22 or 23, I forget. I made a video yesterday, got deleted. I don't know, the video just wasn't, it was just not good. I didn't like it. So, that's a hearth for the 1850 wood burning stove. That's not where it's gonna go, but it's just sitting there because it was in my car. I started building the kitchen counter, just framing it. I mean, like the rough frame, and then obviously all like the extra little trim for the doors and all that stuff is going to get put on afterwards. And I'll take off some of this bracing, and the fender well, the wheel well is inside there. That got boxed off as part of this, so it's boxed off. Now I just need to find a way to insulate it. I don't know. I'm not going to use that board insulation. I was just laying it in there to see. This is probably a better thing to just spray foam the whole inside, or just put fiberglass all inside and then cover it over with the shelf. That's going to be a shelf in there for the underneath the kitchen sink. But this is another wheel well, and then started framing up for the shower walls. I use all this type of corner bracing, which makes this really strong. Like you put corner bracing, and then there's corner bracing at the stud on the floor, and then corner bracing over here, corner bracing right there. It just makes this rock solid. So use wood to sheet metal screws. So yeah, that went up today. It's got measurements left, just enough room to, sheet the plywood up all the way up, and then the concrete board or whatever I'm going to use to go against this wall to waterproof it will sit right over the lip of here. This obviously gets sunk down, and then this will get caulked right here, and then the concrete board will sit on this and then go right over that lip, and then it'll have another water protection barrier. Same thing for the back. The plywood is going to go there. It's going to go straight up. These 3 windows are getting taken out. Then the concrete board or whatever I decide to use will, maybe the Curdy board will come down and go right over the lip, and then this side's got to get framed, and then same thing on there, and then that'll be perfect. There's a seam right here. I was gonna do a skylight, but there's it sits right on a seam. So I mean, I'm still probably gonna cut this out. Probably gonna at least cut. I'm debating what I'm gonna do right here. I was thinking about just cutting out the skylight, and then just rerouting this bracket to have it all welded up, so it comes up. I mean, it'll lose some of its its straight structural support, but I don't know. I'm still thinking. I'm not a welder, so I would have to speak to my friend who knows how all the ins and outs of welding to see if it would be possible to come up and then weld over and then weld right up to here and then make a new support, so I could have this skylight cut into that. I'm sure that would be fine if it was welded properly, if it was just cut out this piece and just put a nice weld right there with a nice I-beam or something. I don't know. I got to talk to him, so see what he says. But that's probably what's going to end up happening there. So before I really get any further with this, I'm going to yank these windows out. I'm not doing that now. I'm waiting for this blizzard we're going to have tonight. So I'm having 14 to 18 inches of snow tonight. So once that's done and it's all melted, those 3 windows will get yanked out, and then the sheet metal will get tack welded over that, and then we'll finish doing that. And then I can finish doing this. But I just kind of was in my head, I was doing things here today with measurements and seeing what was going to go where. So I ended up just starting to lay things out and get the proper measurements to see how everything was going to fit. And then I just started building it. So that's what I'm stopping there though, because I don't want to build any more of that at this point, not until I get those windows out. So at least I know that that's how it's going to go. It's going to work. It fits perfectly. The frame is built right now. So yeah, everything's perfect with that. The shower will fit perfectly in the floor. It lines up perfectly with the edge of the wall when it's sheathed with the plywood. and it leaves just enough gap back there for to plywood up and put some bracing and support studs over there when those windows get taken out. And then I have to insulate this, obviously, and insulate inside there. It's another box. So I kind of let this come out further, because right here, when this is walled up and this is all sheathed with the plywood, I want this little lip right here, because I want to build racks right here with it'll be a sunk into the wall a little bit. It'll be another piece that comes out, and then there'll be like maybe some rope for to hold everything in, but make like an open spice rack or something for mason jars or whatever I'm gonna do. But I'm gonna use this whole wall as a rack. Well, not this whole wall, this part of the wall as a rack, and then this part is going to go straight back there, and that's going to be a pantry, because you don't need that much space for the composting toilet. It's basically going to get walled off right here, straight up another one of these walls. And then inside here will be a pantry with shelves, everything for food, and there'll be a bathroom. This will be the back side of the bathroom wall, and then the composting toilet will sit here facing forward. So shower, pantry, bathroom. And yeah, that's what it is. This thing, the kitchen counter, I mean, I built it out of the 2x2s because I wanted it to be rock solid kitchen counter. I mean, it's going to take a lot of abuse, because I'm going to use it as like multi-purpose, and the bus is going to be going around. I could have got like that 3/4 inch furniture building type of wood and done the wood walls, and then the little common board for like the drawers. But I mean, I just don't think that's going to be strong enough to be taking a beating going over bumps and all that stuff, slamming around back here. I mean, obviously everything's gonna be bolted down to the floor, but a normal cabinet, I don't know. You know what, I'm just gonna do it like this. I'm gonna do the couch like that too, just so I know it's rock solid. And then obviously, all of the support studs will come out, and it'll get the cabinets and all that, but then you can use the common board, like that board right there, to do the drawers and the trim for where the cabinets need to open up, and then all of this will get paneled off with nice trim around it. So it'll be really nice, have a really nice countertop on it. Refrigerator / freezer will go like right in this section. The countertop will kind of go over it, and then with two like live wood posts to support that end of the counter, just so I don't have to keep covering up hardwood floor. But that's what I'm gonna do. So this is just like the rough frame of it. It's not obviously gonna look like that. It's gonna get nice trim. It's going to have paneling on it. It's going to have fancy, nice drawers and things like that. But I just feel better with it being the 2x3s, because that thing is rock solid. I mean, it's not going anywhere. And another thing is, I was using the kitchen counter and boxing off that fender, that wheel well at the same time. So the wheel well is not going to obviously boxed off with the furniture wood. Is going to be boxed off with 2x3s from the beginning. So when I started boxing it off, I'm like, you know what? Boxing it off with 2x3s, and I'm going to build a cabinet out of this, or the bottom of the kitchen counter out of the same thing, and just be done with it. So it's the box and the kitchen thing in one. Underneath here is where the plumbing will come down. It'll get routed underneath there. So it'll go through the floor there. So it'll go in through the side, and then the plumbing will go get holed through the floor into the gray water tank underneath the bus. And then this I can just leave as like an access panel to pull out. I'll put a hole saw and drill a hole in it, so I could pull this out if I ever needed to get to that plumbing underneath there. And then that will be another little pantry area underneath there. So yeah, I mean, that's what it is. That's all it is for today. Yeah, that's it.